Good morning, Ram. How are you?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good too. Thank you. So, can you tell us something about yourself?
Yes, as you know, my name is Ram. So I'm from Guntur basically and currently staying in Hyderabad. And I have done my graduation. So yes, after that, I was working as a sales executive for 2 years. Then recently, I have done software testing course from Satya Technology at Hyderabad. Now I'm trying to catch up. That's all I'd like to say.
Okay, great, great. Okay. So, now consider a scenario where you have got some software to test, but it is so buggy that it cannot be tested at all. So, what will be your approach for this situation?
Sorry, sir.
Yeah. So, consider you have got some software to test, right?
Okay.
uh, yeah, let's say you got some software testing project and you are supposed to test some web application, but that product has many bugs. It has so many bugs that it cannot be tested at all. So how will you deal with this situation?
I'm not sure for this.
Okay, no issues, no issues. See, if the software is so buggy that it cannot be taken for testing at all, the very first thing that you have to do is report all the bugs. Okay, and categorize them based on the severity, right? Now,
Okay,
let's say
done.
if there are critical bugs, then definitely it is going to impact the schedule of the release, right? And
Oh,
you in this particular scenario, what you have to do is you have to categorize them based on the severity, like whichever is critical, blocker, showstopper, major, and then you have to speak to the team managers or your team lead, QA lead, that so and
yes,
so
sir.
cases thing, right? Let's say in future you get some user story for testing, but it is not working at all. So log the defects, report the defects, put all the
Okay.
screenshots over there, and then have a word with the manager or your QA lead that so and so has been discovered. Okay, so
Okay,
this
done.
thing you will have to do. Okay, now what is static testing?
So static testing, we can also call it as a verification.
Hmm,
So while developing the application, if testing the functionality is right or not, called as static testing.
hmm. Okay, so basically in static testing we will do code reviews, walkthroughs, peer reviews
Yeah.
will be done, and static analysis would be done, right? So
Yes, sir.
it is more of kind of reviewing the documents to identify the defects in the early stage of the SDLC.
Okay.
So that is there. Okay. Now, let's say you have found a defect in the story or in the feature that you are testing. You have logged
Okay.
that particular defect in the defect management tool. Now
Okay.
you got to know the from the email notification or from the somewhere that the developer has rejected that particular defect. So what will be your
Okay.
next step in that case?
Sir, basically, at this point of situation, so first of all, we should not report to developer. So
Hmm.
first of all, we should do what is the test scenario, and we should analyze first of all what is the bug and what is the issue, what is the test cases we wrote, and you know we should verify all those things. If it is correct, these are all things, then we have to report to developers.
Hmm.
So then developer will fix the bug, and he will release the build to the QA team again.
Right, right. So that is absolutely fine. It might would have happened that earlier you were able to get that particular defect. Now you can retest it one more time. Maybe it was an
Yes, yes.
environment issue, configuration issue, or some deployment was going on into the application, into the environment on which you were testing. So you are not able to get the stable flow of the application. So that is one round of testing you'll do again on that defect. Still, you
Yes, yes.
found that it's still open. It is still not working, right? Then what will you do?
Then
Because the developer has rejected that defect.
yes, sir.
Hmm.
Then after that, we need to check the log functionality, and we need to check with the business analyst for the test cases,
Hmm.
and collaborate with the team members as well.
Right. Okay.
That's
Right. So what are the various levels of testing?
various levels. So
Mhm.
I think black box testing and white box testing, gray box testing.
Okay,
So those are all
right.
considered
So
for that.
yeah, so black box testing, white box testing are the types of testing. Now, if you get this question, levels of testing, you have to tell unit testing, integration
Oh,
testing, system
okay,
testing,
then.
and acceptance testing. Okay.
Okay, then.
Yeah. What is unit testing?
Sorry, sir. Unit testing. Yes, sir. Basically, unit testing is mostly done by the developer,
Mm-hmm.
and in this testing, we need to check each and every part of the code is working or not. And
Mm-hmm.
then, if it is working, then developer will share the build to QA team for further functionalities. So
Mm-hmm.
that is called unit testing.
Got it. Now let me share my screen. Yeah. Are you able to see this particular screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
Okay. Can you tell me the functional test scenarios for this particular website? What all things you will test?
Functional test scenarios means here. First of all, we need to check URL, sir, URL of the website,
Mm-hmm.
and verify the email and verify the password.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to give the valid credential, like valid username and valid password. So these are all comes under functional testing. So I think here the two, I think 8 scenarios were there here. Seven are hardly 8 scenarios.
8 scenarios.
Scenario.
Oh.
Yes, verify the email and the password
Mm,
and register button and
mm,
bottom level there links.
mm,
So and URL were there. So these are all scenarios, and
mm,
through these scenarios we wrote the test cases as well.
mm. Okay.
Yes.
And anything else?
Uh, no, sir.
Mhm. Okay, no issues. So first of
Don't
all,
mind if I'm wrong.
yeah, no issues. See, this is a mock interview. Even if you don't know the answer of the question, or if you're not able to cover the full answer, so I'll be giving the answer on your behalf. Right.
Sure, sir. Sure.
So what is the first test case you told about whether the URL is getting launched or not? So that you have to test in all the browsers, Chrome, Firefox, IE, whichever the browsers that are mentioned in your FRD or BRD, right?
Yes.
Then let's come to the registration link, registration thing. You
Yes.
enter the email address of various domains like gmail.com or other domains like yahoo.com, Rediff Mail and all those things. Then you can test. You can enter the password. Then over here, we have got a currency as well. Now, this is an trading account website, right? So based on currencies as well, you can create account. Let's say in future, you want to do the transaction in rupees or you want to do the transaction in dollars. So you have to add these test scenarios also in as a sort of permutations and combinations, right? Then let's say you entered all your proper email and password and you selected one of the currency, but you did not selected the checkbox over here and you are trying to register. So you'll get some validation message, right? Second thing
Yes, sir.
is you entered an incorrect email address, right? So again, validation message should be there. You entered the email address without .com or something like that. Then again, in the validation message would be displayed. You try to enter the email address that is already having an account, so no registration, new registration won't be done for that particular email address which already has an account in this website, right? That can
Yes.
also be one of the test scenario. Then uh, right, now you take some email address and you enter a simple password. Okay, something like which is very easy to be reached out by the people. Let's say 123 or simple 456 or something like that. Very easy password. Then it should give some validation message that you need to give a proper
Yes,
password
sir.
with a combination of alphanumeric characters, one special characters, one lowercase, one uppercase letter, something like that,
Yes.
right? Then you can come to this scenario. You can verify whether these links are getting opened or not, right? This is there, right? Then this particular text has been displayed or not, right?
Yes.
Because it's a trading website, so we need to have 18 plus. age for that.
Okay, sir.
I think it got refreshed. Okay. Right. Then let's say you open this particular website in the mobile, and from the mobile, are you able to register properly or not?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Right. So that is also one of the functional test scenario. Now,
Yeah.
how will you do the non-functional testing of this website?
Non-functional testing.
Hmm, hmm,
So as a tester, we will test to functional testing only,
hmm, hmm,
and I think we cannot test to non-functional testing.
hmm, hmm. Okay. No, no. Definitely, we can do non-functional testing as well. So there are various tools available, right? Like JMeter is there, with using which what you can do is you can do non-functional testing. Now, what is non-functional testing? Non-functional testing is combination of load plus stress testing, right? There are two types
Yes.
again in that. You will apply load, you will apply stress to the application, and you will come to know what is the behavior of the application under load, right?
Yes,
So,
sir.
yeah.
Non-functional testing is nothing but what were business customer expectations.
Hmm, hmm,
So, and non-functional testing, there are many kind of testing with it, load testing and
hmm,
stress testing, performance testing. So these are all comes under non-functional testing.
hmm. Okay. So how will you perform non-functional testing now with respect to definition and concept? It is clear to you, right? Non-functional
Yes, sir.
testing. You also agree it can be done by the testers, right?
Yes,
So how will you perform non-functional testing for this page?
so non-functional testing, I'm not sure, sir.
Okay, what we can do is we can create dummy user accounts for registration with valid email addresses and valid password, right? And using JMeter or using any other tools, we can test the behavior of the application with for all those accounts. Let's say if in BRD or in requirement document or with respect to client or customer, your website should be able to handle, for example, 25,000 of accounts for registration. So you will create that dummy account and you will use that particular tool for doing non-functional testing, right? So that is one of the aspect. That is non-functional testing,
Yes, sir.
right? Again, if it's limited to 25,000 registrations, so you will gradually increase the load from 5,000, 10,000 users, 15,000 up to 25,000. If it is
Yes,
stress
sir.
testing kind of concept, that testing that you need to do, the non-functional testing, you will be testing beyond the 25,000 of accounts, right? What is the response of the application? Are
Okay.
those accounts able to register? And not only registration, then you will have to check login as well, because it should not happen that just registration, just the accounts are getting registered, but ultimately they are not able to log in. So that is of no use. So end-to-end
Yes.
functionality we have to test.
Yes. End-to-end functionality, no stress testing, no, sir.
In each and every testing aspect. Let's say even
Okay.
if you do load testing, you do stress testing, you
Oh,
you registered 25,000 accounts. Okay. So
okay.
you got one level of confidence. Okay. At least those 25,000 accounts are getting registered now. Now, what is the
Yes, sir.
next step? They should be able to log in. You take any of few of the accounts from those kind of set and you try to log in them. Login should work, because it should not happen that just the accounts are being getting registered. Ultimately, your end
Yes.
goal is what? The user should be able to use your application. So just registration and not able to log in, then again, it's a blocker,
Yes, sir.
right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's say if I have registered my account in this particular website, I'm able to log in, but I am not able to do a transaction. So what would be the severity of this defect?
Sir, high priorities,
Hmm.
we are able to log in, and that is high priority, but we are unable to perform for another operation. So that is high severity.
Mm-hmm. No, no. So
Yeah.
consider a situation. Let's say you logged in into the application successfully. Okay, that that test case got completed. That test scenario is passed now. Now further, after login, you're not able to do any transaction. So what would be the severity and what would be the priority of this bug? This is a bug, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what would be the severity and what would be the priority of this bug?
I think we are able to log in, so that is high priority, but we are unable to operate further operations. So that is comes under high priority as well, I think.
Right. See, login
Yes.
registration is done, login is done. You will be
Yeah.
doing transaction. That is how the flow of the website is. Now,
Sir.
consider you have registered yourself. You have logged in successfully into the website. Okay, so that case is completed. That thread is closed over there. Now, the next test scenario is you're not able to perform transaction. So what would be the severity and what would be the priority of this defect?
Well, sir, in particular in this point of situation, we can say priority is high, low, and severity is high.
Priority is low, severity is high.
Yes.
Why so? Don't you think priority will be high in this case?
Yes, sir, of course.
Right? Because see, it's a trading website. And even if you register yourself successfully, you log in successfully, but you are not able to do transaction, then it will be a high severity, high priority defect.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now consider a scenario where you had selected the currency as rupees at the time of registration, but while doing transaction, it is considering dollars. So what would be the severity and priority for this defect?
I'm not sure.
It's again high severity, high priority, because I want to use rupees as my currency for the account, but it is doing the transaction using dollars. So that is not at all acceptable, right? So it would be again high severity, high priority defect.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's say you have registered with your email address and password. Okay, your name is Ram Babu. You have registered with your email address and password into this account. After logging in, it at the right side, it will show you some kind of message. Welcome Ram Babu for this particular website, something like that. So that is fine. But instead of that, if it is mentioning the wrong spelling of your name, then what would be the severity and priority of this defect?
Sir, when we are making mistakes, our system will show spelling mistakes on on that point of situation. Priority was low and severity was high, I think.
Priority will be low. Okay. Don't you think it would be a vice versa? Priority will be high, severity will be low. Priority is high because ultimately it's not giving a good feeling to the end user or the customer. His name is spelled wrong over there, right? It is not impacting the transaction. You will be able to purchase stocks, purchase mutual funds, etc. You will be able to do all the activities. So severity will be low in this case. Priority will be very high because it's affecting the names of the end users or the clients, right? Let's say instead of Ram Babu, if it is telling Ram and instead of BABU, it is just showing BA. So it's a spelling mistake in the name of the end user. So that is not at all acceptable, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, functional testing is done, non-functional testing is done. How will you do concurrent testing for this website?
Concurrent testing. Sorry, sir.
See, no issues. This is a mock interview. This 30 minutes is fully dedicated to you. Make sure that when you are going for the real-time interview, if you get these questions, you should be able to answer with those particular clarity and confidence as well. Concurrent testing is nothing but you and your team members or other members of the organization are trying to access or use that particular page together. Let's say you are registering the registering yourself for this particular website. At the same time, 5 or 10 members in your team are also doing the same activity. So we want to do concurrent testing. What is the significance? What is the advantage of doing concurrent testing is so many users are trying to access the application at one particular time with same functionality. Then are the records getting saved in the database properly? What is the response of the application? Is the application responding properly? It should not happen that out of 10 users which were trying to, for example, out of 10 users which were trying to register together, 8 users were able to register successfully. 2 of the users were not able to register successfully despite they were putting the proper parameters, right? So that is the significance of concurrent testing. 10 out of 10 results should be passed over there.
Yes, sir.
So together concurrent testing is nothing but together all the users will be performing the same functionality on the same application. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now, can you tell me the GUI test scenarios on this particular application, on this particular website? UI UX based test scenarios.
So for this application, yes, sir. Here the test scenario is verify email address and verify password and verify the links and verify the register button and verify the select currencies and yes, sir. Verify the service agreement option is there now. We need to verify that to all as well.
So those are again functional scenarios, right?
Yes, sir.
So I was looking for GUI based scenarios. So what you can tell is whether the content on this particular page, like
GUI means graphical user interface scenarios. No?
Yes. So registration. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Please.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
So in GUI, we need to check registration color and spelling is correct or not, and
spelling is fine, but the color or the skinning or the theme of the page, right?
And
now you are able to see this particular 2 lines. One is going in red, one is orange, and one is going in blue.
Yes, sir.
Right? So those are properly displayed or not. What if you change your desktop resolution or you change your theme background of your computer or laptop? Then is the proper are these 2 links properly displayed or not?
Yes.
And let's say if I select this dollar option, so after selecting it should be readable as well, and I should be able to view it properly as well, right?
Yes, sir.
So those things are there.
Okay, sir.
Right? So the look and feel of the application, those are considered as GUI based test scenarios. Okay, if I mouse over on this particular text box, it should show that, okay, you have selected this particular text, something like that.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now, can you tell me the test scenarios for a Facebook Live application? Let's say you are using Facebook. You went live on Facebook. So what would be the test scenarios for that?
Sir, for that, we need to check for the URL, verify the URL, and we need to check audio and audio connection and video connections as well. Correct. And audio in the sense sounds. So that's yes, sir. These 3 I would like to say. I know.
Anything else?
And we need to check the background images while we are connecting through live.
What else? Okay. So when going for Facebook Live, so testing, the main testing would be there should not be any lag coming up between the person who is going live and the audience. Let's say you told something, so at that particular time only the audience should be able to listen. It should not go as after 10 seconds or after 20 seconds, the audience is getting that particular word. Okay.
Yes.
So that is one of the scenario. Video option is that audio should be, they should be able to hear the audio properly. They should be able to view you, whether they are viewing you from the laptop or tablet, iOS, Android phone. So you should, the video quality should not get compromised, right? Then
Yes.
they should be able to chat in the comments or during the live also. They should be able to send some stickers, right? So those things should also work properly.
Yes.
Then yeah, if they can maximize the window so they can see you in the
Yes.
full resolution window, or in the auto rotate mode of the mobile also, they should be able to view. So those all things you can consider.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, Ram, I'm done with the interview. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay.
Give me feedback.
Yeah, so feedback is what you need to improve is you need to think from the test scenarios point of view. Whenever you get any question with respect to the test scenarios, cover positive first, then negative test scenarios, cover functional, non-functional GUI based test scenarios. So in this manner, in this order, if you will give the answer of the question, you will definitely not fall into the, getting into the shortage of the test scenarios. Try to answer this question up to 5 to 6 minutes, minimum 5 to 6 minutes. You should be able to answer. So many test scenarios are there with so many conditions, with so many compatibility things. Again, browsers are playing, operating system are playing a vital role. So consider all those permutations and combinations and then give the answer to the interviewer,
Okay, sir. Done.
because definitely you will get some question on test scenarios for sure. Okay, so
Yes,
you'll
sir.
have to be very good in that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, rest all looks good. You were able to answer static testing, dynamic testing. Okay, types of testing again. Those are unit testing, integration testing. So I think you were mentioning about black box testing and white box testing, right? So
Yes.
improve in those testing concepts as well. What are the types of test? Okay,
Okay.
right. What is the difference between integration testing and unit testing? So those all concepts you have to clear. Rest all looks good, right? You are confident. Your communication skills are good, right? So don't worry, you will get a job in testing
Yes,
very
sir.
soon. Yeah.
Sir, I wanna say one thing, if you don't mind that, sir, because I'm one of the subscriber to your channel,
Mm.
and daily what we're posting in your YouTube channel. So I saw that videos, all those things what you posted, and from that videos I have learned a lot, sir. So for that, thank you so much to you. And yes, when I trying to interview to get the job, I will be very confident, and
Mm.
uh, somewhere I felt really happy for that, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So, and especially for this mock interview, why I would like to take this interview means how I know about manual testing, because from the last 4 months I'm learning this course.
Yeah.
So for the confidence and for the real-time scenarios, for the real-time questions, what sir will ask to me, and
Mm.
how would I perform? So for that, I took this interview, sir.
Right,
Thank
right.
you so
No,
much for that.
no, thanks
Thank
to
you.
you as well. Like the people like you who are watching these videos, and the basic intention behind starting this channel is this only, that people should get the required help. They should be able to get the job in software testing field as soon as possible, right? So keep watching the videos, keep supporting, and I'll be also
Sure,
keeping.
sir.
Yeah,
And one more thing, sir, I wanted to ask one thing. Can I ask?
yeah, sure, sure.
Sir, in interview point of situation, I have one doubt that how to explain about the real-time questions and previous project or something. So on that point of situation point, I will be little down. So,
Okay. Okay, now
can
see, there
you?
are two situations over here. The previous project that you have done. Okay, now as you
Okay.
are a fresher, so I think you would have done some project in the college or some
Yes,
project
sir.
from the outside that you would have done. So even if it's a paid project or a free project, or if it is done by your end to end, then give the whole synopsis, give the summary of the project that you have done. how it will be helping the software industry, right? That is one of the aspect. So, so what you can make them understand is what was your contribution in that project. That also holds a very important value, right?
Okay.
Explaining about your project, right? In the real-time scenarios, what they will ask you, like, as I was asking you about the defects, what if you get some application which is full of defects? So think from the organization structure point of view. In an organization, what happens? You've got some leads, you've got some senior member working in your team, right? So you will be approaching them. You will be collaborating with them, as you were mentioning in one of the answers. So that was very good, that you will be collaborating with the team members and then you will be going forward. So that's how we have to answer in the real-time interviews as well. We have to make sure that we are not just telling about the answer should be revolving around we as a team. As a team, what will be your response? As a team, what will be your approach, right? So because an individual cannot release a product or test the product entirely. A big team is required depending on the project, whether it's 2 members team, 4 members, 8 or 10 members, but you need a team basically to tackle all these things. So in the real time also, you have to answer from the perspective of we, right? Not from the I. And then whichever answers from that aspect you will give. So definitely the interviewer will come to know, no, he is really looking for that organization point of view, right?
Okay. And one more thing, sir, in coming point to manual testing. So what we will do in manual testing? Only we will write the test cases and through scenarios, and we will prepare the defect tracking tool. Na? So that's all. Na? These
No.
three things we have to do. Na?
Yeah. So apart from this, let's say, writing the test cases, executing the test cases, logging the defects, there would be times when you would be doing retesting, when you would be doing regression testing, right? Then there would be time when you would be discussing with BA or let's say developer or product managers, product owners, that so and so requirement is not working in this stage, so and so requirement needs to be working in this stage. So you will be taking the help of your lead and you will be collaborating with them. So manual testing is not about doing the testing and logging defects, but it is look it from the bigger picture, right? So you have to scan the software with the magnifying lens, right? Each and everything. And you also have to make sure that it is adhering the requirements, adhering the flow, the specifications that are mentioned in the document. Right.
Okay, sir.
Think from that point of view as well. If you think from the business perspective, then you will be able to catch good and critical defects, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then Ram, all the best for your career and stay in touch, right?
Sure, sir.
If possible, please share the interview questions with us on this email address, right?
Sure, sir. Sure. I will be sharing. Sure.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir. Nice talking to you.